Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And with more leaks coming out about CoD Vanguard by the day, a lot of pros are very optimistic indeed about the potential of this title for competitive play. Will these rumours prove unfounded, or could we be in for one of the best years in competitive Call of Duty that we have ever had? Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Really up to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, wanted to mention this, legends that last forever, the OpTic guys say. 4 years ago yesterday, Scump, Formal, Crimsix and Karma won the World Championship in 2017 on Infinite Warfare. Phenomenal event, phenomenal times. Just the way this was put on by the CWL and MLG Studios, and you know the crowd that was there and the trophy and all this stuff. It just bring it back to the good old days. Honestly, a long time ago it seems at this point, no doubt. But yes, they win the entire thing. Phenomenal scenes, and well, yes, there is of course a World Championship to be played not too long from today. I thought this kind of interesting because I thought that this year's World Championship, starting in just 5 days on the 19th of August, was somewhat earlier than usual, because last year's champs finished on the 30th of August, but this one, as you can see, was on the 13th, so seemingly, everything is going to be absolutely fine. But yes, 4 players will win this year, and they will win these things that you can see on screen. So I'm pretty sure that, like, the throne or whatever they had for the teams, that's probably still going to exist. But what everyone's looking for is that ring on the top right-hand corner. There's been so many fantastic players throughout Call of Duty history that have won many an event, but never won their World Championship ring, and that has been a disappointment to many, and is something that certainly a lot of players want to be able to accomplish this time around. Ring season, says Crone at CDL Intel. We've got Karma right here. We've got some of the other guys as well that have won rings over time. This, of course, are, well, the 3 that Karma won. As you can see, you've got the Infinite Warfare one for that OpTic Dynasty squad, the Complexity squad in Call of Duty Ghost in 2014, and then the inaugural one in, Black Ops 2 2013, all those years ago it seems now. But yes, 4 players will get their hands on one this time around. On the more negative side, though, this I thought was very interesting that came out yesterday. CDL partner, long-time partner for sure, Astro Gaming have removed themselves as a sponsor to the Call of Duty League. No more Astro MVP or Astro Gaming listen-ins. US Army have also dipped out of there. This is pretty remarkable to see. We see, obviously, a few days ago now, we've got this lawsuit ongoing between the California state government to Activision Blizzard with regard to workplace harassment, and some pretty horrific stories that came out about that a couple of weeks ago now. Understandably, some of these high-profile sponsors looking to distance themselves from the league. Overwatch League has had it worse than Call of Duty, to be honest. They've had a lot of high-profile sponsors just dip out of there entirely. Now, the Astro Gaming side, I thought is pretty remarkable, because T-Mobile, it's kind of like, okay, they don't need to advertise on Call of Duty competitive, but Astro Gaming, like, that must be such a high source of their revenue and their sales comes from this partnership. So just to dip out of it is very surprising. You'd imagine it is in light of the accusations and the allegations and the lawsuit that is ongoing right now. And I think that some people have been looking at this and saying, okay, yeah, this is fantastic, right? The CDL's going to die because it's got no sponsors. Then we're going to go back to the CWL. That is just not how it works. If the Overwatch League fails, which is probably more likely than the Call of Duty League, just because, COD, people are going to be playing it for years. Overwatch League, that's not necessarily the case. I think we have better personalities and fans and teams in this scene than Overwatch League does over there, even though I don't really watch too much of it, so I'm probably biased on this issue, no doubt. But still, I think that Overwatch League is probably in a slightly more precarious spot than the CDL. But either way, if one of those leagues goes under or something goes wrong, and it kind of is at the present time, then these organizations, these ownership groups, are going to certainly have second thoughts about the potential in the long run of actual esports in general, right? Some of these owners that are coming in, they've never dealt with esports before. They've been in regular sports or done other things. They just know that esports is meant to be this gold mine. They come in, they drop a lot of cash, and then it all goes, it all goes down the drain. They're not going to be coming to esports anytime soon. That is not good for our scene. And also from the Activision perspective, if the CDL fails or whatever and it goes wrong, then would they invest into the CWL again? Unlikely, right? It'd have to be all grassroots once again. We've gone back 20 years. So it's obviously not a good sign. I'm hoping that the ship can be righted at some point or another. But pretty remarkable. The Astro Gaming listening, an iconic part of Call of Duty, is not going to be here anymore. We've got this year, of course, in Black Ops Card War. We've got back in the Black Ops 4 days, the seaside hardpoint between OpTic and United. Astro Gaming listening, making an appearance in all of these. Envy versus FaZe Clan, Retaliation hardpoint back in Infinite Warfare, and even in World War II as well. Astro has been around for years. No longer going to be the case, however. But let's talk on a more positive perspective. This is we've definitely got a lot of great things coming out about the potential, at the very least, of this upcoming Call of Duty title. Tom Henderson says the following: the current number of 6v6 maps scheduled for launch is 16. This is quite remarkable. Tom Henderson, pretty prolific leaker, said a lot of things that have turned out to be true of Call of Duty titles for several years at this point, or at least the last couple of years. Now, this title seems to be the case as well. Who really knows? But this is what at least is being rumoured. A couple of days ago, I'm pretty sure I said that the rumor had it that there was going to be 12 6v6 maps at launch, which I was pretty happy about, to be honest, with the focus on Warzone, with the focus on all these other game modes and then big maps and all this type of stuff that they like to do nowadays. 12 Warzone or 12 6v6 maps would have been pretty damn good. 16 is pretty spectacular. Like, we only really need 5, 6 good competitive maps to make it work across all the game modes. To find those out of 16 maps is probably going to happen, especially because London Docks is rumoured to be making its return as well. So honestly, just fantastic to see if this is, of course, indeed the case. But this is really when it goes to another level. Tom Henderson follows up with this. There is going to be a really strong emphasis on Call of Duty competitive within the next game. I don't want to make any claims just yet, but it would seem that there is a lot of support lined up for it. I understand this is said almost every year, and that is why I'm not commenting on the features just yet, but from what I've heard, there's a lot more focus on it this time round, even with a roadmap, etc. I'll have more at a later date. The idea of a roadmap seems absolutely phenomenal. That's the idea that, okay, they've got timings for when things are going to drop. Let's say the game comes out at the start of November, they're going to say, okay, ranked play is going to drop here, this is when the rewards are coming, we're going to drop like player signatures and stickers at this point, this is like the incentives we're going to give at this time or another, this is when the seasons are going to be for the ranked play, and this type of stuff that, combines the competitive Call of Duty stuff with the, the actual CDL stuff. Maybe they introduce some way you can actually watch the Call of Duty matches inside the game itself. All these type of options could be fantastic, and of course what we really want to see is maps designed for competitive play, but also a great rank play system. And to be fair, back in the day in World War II, Sledgehammer did a pretty good job of that, especially compared to some of these more recent titles where that hasn't necessarily been the case, even from the likes of Treyarch. So as Chrome says right here, am I dreaming reading about this type of stuff? And I think a lot of pros find themselves in a similar boat. This comes out from Scump. He drops the eyes emoji, very excited, optimistic about the possibility of this. But of course, some pros aren't necessarily so convinced, and understandably so, right? It's been many years at this point where we get these kind of promises, and the pros will fly out to the venues to actually play the game early doors, and that they'll come back with great stories and really optimism. But then whoever they were talking to, the developers, maybe they get overruled or whatever the case might be, and it doesn't really work out as we would like, of course. So as it seems in place to say right here, like, it's cap. I don't really believe this is going to be the case. Slasher maybe on the slightly more positive note, he says maybe there's a chance that this actually possibly does happen at some point or another. Of course, Slasher, one of those guys that flew out, I'm pretty sure it was for Modern Warfare, the Infinity Ward Studios or whatever, and they loaded into a hardpoint on Grasner Raid, and there was 30 hardpoints, and he was like, what exactly is going on here? Do you guys ever watch competitive play? Hopefully that won't be the case at this time round, but it's certainly cool to see some optimism. On the other side, this is kind of interesting. In addition to the wooden doors that can be destroyed with bullets or grenades, so it seems like doors are making their return. Maybe you're not quite as drastic a form as they were in Modern Warfare, but we shall see. There's also apparently wooden floorboards and hatches that you can just shoot right through. One example I saw was someone shooting through the floorboards to go from the first to the ground floor very quickly indeed. I imagine someone could go up on the third story of a building, shoot through all the floorboards, get a nice little angle on the bomb or something. It's who knows what's even possible at this point, but it's possible that something like this could be a possibility, and not exactly something we necessarily want to be seeing, but could also add some depth and some strategy to competitive play. Also does come with its risks though at the same time. So of course, look, a few years ago in World War II originally, Sledgehammer did a fantastic job with their rank play system. Looking back at it, as MajorManiak says, there's zero excuse for CoD not to have a good ranked system next game. It's not just about the good ranked system, it's actually about it coming out at a reasonable time, because as Chrome says right here, 4 weeks after World War II is released, World War II ranked play launched. Any longer this time, we're going to write about it, and it was phenomenal back in the day, to be honest. So you can see all these players right here. If you were a pro, you could just hop into the rank play system and you could just find lobbies with all these other top players, and it was just phenomenal to watch and stuff. And even though the game might not have been the absolute greatest in terms of watchability, the colors might not have been spectacular, the maps could have been better, but still not too bad. There was a lot of great things about that game, I think, looking back at it from a competitive perspective. And of course, we want the game to be launched relatively early, right, in terms of the rank play stuff, so it can coincide with the actual events that are going on, hopefully at the same time early in the cycle. And there's so many other games, the likes of Splitgate and other games that are produced by indie developers, not the massive big dogs of Activision Blizzard. They can seem to get a rank play done without too much of a hitch, but seems to for some reason be a challenge for Call of Duty so far. So hopefully that will indeed be the case. Thought this was kind of interesting from Macken as well, saying that the fact of the matter is, replying to Scump right here, they've kind of forced their hand to focus now on competitive. There's no noob casuals anymore, they've all gone to Warzone. The idea being that effectively all the casual players have now gone to play Warzone, and therefore that's the new casual Call of Duty stuff, and therefore the players that are left playing multiplayer, and therefore maybe Activision's focus with regard to multiplayer is now more on the competitive side. Games that tend to last the test of time have some serious competitive focus, and it'd be interesting to see if they decide, okay, multiplayer, let's start to think about it more from a CSGO perspective, and then have Warzone and the Battle Royale type type stuff as the more casual side of Call of Duty, and maybe give that a competitive twist if we possibly can as well. So exciting stuff, no doubt. Octane says, like, the cycle of Call of Duty continues, the excitement for the next title has already started and is most certainly underway at the present time. But yes, intriguing your perspective, no doubt, in the comment section below. As Hitch says, I'm about to throw so many Vanguard tournaments that first month, and this is what I would love to see from the CDL as well. Let's say the game comes out in November, which I'm pretty sure is what it's looking like at the present time. There's obviously a lot of people would really love to see if there was tournaments that come out relatively early on. Back in the Black Ops 4 days, we had Las Vegas that happened right at the start of December, pretty much. A month into the title, there was an event that dropped, and then of course in January things start kicking off once again. That'd be how I'd love to see it, have some sort of a couple of pre-season events early on so we can see where the team stands, and then coincide that with the launch of ranked play and all this other stuff. And if the developers are thinking about this and they're also like definitely tune into what they need to do to make competitive play fantastic, we could be in for a fantastic year. At the same time though, we have of course seen for many a year at this point that we get promised things, it doesn't necessarily work out as we would like it to. I can understand some of the skepticism from the pros, but also the optimism is most certainly there as well. And well, intriguing your perspective, no doubt, on whether this indeed will be the case. Could we be in for a great Call of Duty? I think it certainly seems needed after a couple of difficult years of competitive play, especially with the online stuff we've been struggling through these last couple of seasons. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm like you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I'll grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always, take care, and I will see you next time.